Hello everyone and welcome to Callsign Charlie Models. It's time for another inbox review, and today we have something a little bit different. We have the Reskit 132nd F-111A Escape Crew Module in 132nd. I just said that. This is kit number RSK32TAC0001, and we have some very nice box art on the top with the escape module being rocketed off of the fuselage right down here, and actually has the escape pod missing from the artwork back here. Now on the sides of the box there's no extra like pictures or anything, it's just a repeat of the box art. So we open it up and we can see what's inside the box. We have the instructions and then a couple boxes right here and then a couple of the resin pieces. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get everything set off to the side, and then we can start going through the decals, or the instructions, decals, and everything included. So give me 1 second and I'll be right back. Alright, so starting off with the instructions, we have a nice little booklet here of the and a repeat of the box art in black and white, as well as a kind of how-to on your resin parts and 3D printed parts and decals and all that included here. So we open it up, we have our parts call out with all the parts. It is a mix of resin cast along with 3D printed parts as well on that. And we also have some 3D printed decals, regular decals, painting mask, photo etch parts, and a couple pieces of film. So starting off with the kit, we have first off our color call outs using Goons, Mr. Hobby, and let's see, Federal Standard numbers right there. Alright, so starting off with the kit, we're starting on our back bulkhead right here, and then we have our instrument combing and our instrument panel right there. We're going to have decals that go over all of that to really liven that up, and then we have a couple of probably photo etch parts right in here, and then some more 3D printed decals going on the side consoles right there. After that, we have the painting mask for our clear parts right there, and then we're adding in a few more parts with our cockpit or our ejection seats right here. And then we're adding in some more detailed parts into the fuselage, or not the fuselage, the back bulkhead right here. And then we have the fuselage section here that we're adding in a few detail parts. Then we're adding in the instrument combing to the top side of that, and then we have the HUD and a few other pieces going on that, and a nice color call out on how everything is supposed to look on that. After that's done, we are adding in the instrument combing along with this little scope as well. And then we have more detailed parts going in, like our control sticks and throttles and all that going into the cockpit. After that is done, we are getting our flight deck and our bulkhead, getting those together and then attaching them into the escape capsule part, and we do have a nice little layout of how everything is supposed to look when it is all put in. Then after that, we are attaching our clear part, and then we are working on the front or the back end and the bottom end of the escape capsule right there, adding in some detail to that. And then we have the little fuselage section that goes on to the back end, and then we're adding some detail parts to the inside of that as well. And then moving on, we're just adding some more detail parts all along in there. And then we have the side windows right here. You do have the option of having them in the opened or closed position. With all the detail that's going on inside of here, I definitely would want to have this open. But with that being said, you could go to 3D Shoot Experts and get one of the 3D printed parachutes and do a nice little diorama of having this actually falling down to the ground. You have a couple options with that, but we also have like some nice detail parts going in all along the canopy, and then we're getting canopy railing in and a bunch of other parts. This is for our closed assembly right here. And then again, we have it with the open, adding in all the detail parts, our glass parts, all that. And again, some more parts for our open, getting all that done and all assembled. After that, we do have a stand to attach everything. So again, very nicely done on all of that. Alright, going on to our color callouts right here. You have the nice Southeast Asia camo scheme on this. Again, it's going to look very nice when it's all done, weathering it up and everything. Zinc chromate, steel, browns, green, all that going on. So again, very nice color call out. And then on the reverse side, we have our decal placements for everything on the top and side views right here. Okay, up first we have this little clear film for our HUD screens right here. As you can see, nice and thin. Cut those out and you'll be a-okay with that. And then we have our 3D printed decals for our instrument panel and the side consoles right here, all looking very nice and a nice texture to them with all the switches and everything. It's going to look really, really good when it is all done. Then we have a nice photo etch fret right here. Again, the photo etch is nice and thin and a lot of extra detail going into this part right here. That's really going to liven up the cockpit of the kit. After that, we have our paint mask. The masks are cut. You can't really pick it out on camera, but they are all cut, so they should be fine. They are nice and numbered, so there's no question about which window those go on. Then lastly, we have our other decal sheet for the fuselage section right here. All the decals do feel very nice, typical Reskit decals. If you've worked with any of their ordnance or aftermarket sets that have decals, you know those go down pretty nicely. Alright, starting with our first cast resin piece. This is the fuselage section right here. As you can see, we have some very nice rivet and panel line detail on that right there, and then on the reverse side we have some very nice interior detail on that you are going to be able to see all this when it's up on the stand. So this is actually very nice. Even on right here you can see all that detail that's in there, and you're going to liven it up with a lot of photo etch and other 3D printed parts for that. Alright, so up next we have another cast resin part with the, this is the bottom side I believe of the escape capsule, and you can see all that very fine detail that's in there. This actually might be 3D printed. I'm seeing the supports right here. So again, all very nice on that. And then we have our instrument combing on that, and again you can see all the very nice printed detail on there. Make sure you get a nice fine razor saw when you're cutting off along here. And then on the reverse side we don't have much detail, but you do have your instrument combing that's going to be going on the underside of that. And we do have a little bit of cleanup to do right along the edge of this piece right here. I'm hoping that the camera will pick it up. Maybe it will, maybe it won't, but just a little, like a quick scrape across the top side, and you'll be able to clean that up. Alright, so now we have a 3D printed block right here with our headrest and a couple other pieces and our control sticks right there. Again, looking very, very nice, nicely detailed on all those. It's going to paint up very nicely. Alright, now we have our main ejection seats, or pilot seats. Don't know if you'd actually call them ejection seats because they do not eject out of the aircraft. But as you can see right here, we have some very nice detail. The seat belts look absolutely amazing with the detail on those. And you're going to have a few other parts going on to that to really liven those up as well. So again, very nice job done by this. Okay, and then we have our stand right here. Not much to it. I'm not going to pull it out of the bag, but we do have a nice little stand right here, or plate, with the F-111 from the 429th Tactical Fighter Squadron, 47th Tactical Fighter Wing right here. So you can paint that up along with your stand and then do some like dry brushing along the top side to really make that stand out as well. And then the stand does look like it's going to be able to support all the weight to this. This is also another 3D printed part for this. So again, very nice. Alright, now we have some plastic parts. These are our clear parts. So again, looking very nice. It's crystal clear on these. As you can see my finger through it. Again, no issues with any of that. Just cutting them off the sprue. Make sure you're careful so you don't crack it. But again, very nicely done on that plastic part. Alright, now we have one of the hatches, the pilot hatches, and we get two of these. I'm just going to show one of them, but you can see all the nice detail that's along the side of here, right there, and then on the reverse side, very nice detail, and especially you're going to be putting some photo etch and all the other parts on there, so that's really going to come alive when you do it. I'm definitely going to have at least one of them open, maybe both of them when I do this, just to show off the detail that's on the inside of everything. Alright, so now we have some more. This is the top side of our canopy detail right here. Again, very nicely detailed, and you're going to be adding all the other detail to it to really liven that up, and then you can come in and add even more detail with some lead wire and whatever for some comm cords or something like that, doing some research to make sure you're accurate. But again, very nice on that. And then we have this piece, which is a few panels that are going to be going on to the outside of the escape capsule right here. All very nicely done, and you can see the numbers along the bottom right here of what each part is. Okay, now we have our front canopy piece right here, looking very nice on that. There are some smudges on it and maybe even some scratches, but those should polish out fairly easily with that. So definitely going to take some time to polish that out to make it look glass-like. It does look very nice, but there are just a few little scratches right there on the canopy. Nothing much to worry about, just a little bit of extra work. Okay, up first we have our flight deck right here. There's not much detail molded into it, but the molding, the 3D printing on here or casting on there actually looks very nicely done. I can't tell if this is a cast or a 3D print job, but it does look like it's got some very nice detail, starting out with right in these boxes right here, then I'll also in the control arms. But you're also going to be adding in the 3D printed decals onto there to really liven that area up. Then we have our instrument panel right here. Again, not much to it, but you're going to have the 3D printed decals that go over it, and it's going to look really good when it is all done. Alright, so now we have the aft bulkhead for the cockpit right here. Again, a lot of very nice detail molded in or printed into this. As you can see, looking very nice, and when you get it painted and weathered, again, it's going to look absolutely amazing. I would hate to throw pilots and everything in here and have everything closed up so you lose all this detail right here. And you're also again going to have 3D printed decals that go here and here to liven that area up. Then we have the back piece for our escape capsule right here. Again, very nice rivet detail. I'm hoping the camera will pick that up. There we go. Looking very nice, and we even have some cable detail going along the back side right here as well. This side you're not going to see, so it's nice and blank. Alright, and now we have some more 3D printed parts right here. We have our curtains right here for the windshields, and then also a few other detail parts like our scope right in here, and then I'm not sure what these parts are for, but this is also the last 3D print block or parts that we have in this kit. So the parts count is not a very high parts count, but the detail on here is absolutely amazing. Alright, so that is everything for the Reskit 1/32 scale F-111A Escape Crew Module. And the detail on this kit looks absolutely amazing. Top-notch detail as usual from Reskit. I've never had any issues with any of the Reskit stuff that I've used, and it always looks absolutely amazing. And for the detail on the kit and the low parts count on it, and the way they just got the 3D printed decals to add all the decal, looks like it's going to be a nice, fun, quick, easy build. I'm actually thinking I might do this as like a quick build video where it's the whole build in one video. We'll see how long that video is to see, but I'm thinking that that's what I'm going to do. Might take a weekend to build it and just get it done, and I think even in that short time it should come out to be a very nice looking kit. But other than that, I really don't have anything else to say about this kit. I'm really looking forward to building this one. Like I said, probably just a quick weekend build. Be a quick video where we do the whole build in one video, starting from assembly to painting to decals, weathering, all that stuff in one video. But other than that, that's all I got. So I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope if you were on the fence about getting this one, I hope this helped you make your decision. And until next time, have a great day. Stay frosty and happy modeling.